Howdy, how y'all doing? This is George Phyllis Framber and welcome to my off-grid channel. Today we're getting some gas lines to put up in my small cabin up in the mountains. And if you're interested in me putting those gas lines in, come join me. After reading the Martin Vented Heater installation manual, then sketching out my propane gas line design, heading off to a box store, finding an aisle with gas parts, shopping around and getting some black pipe, and spending a crap load of money. Yeah, I finally got to head up to my property to finish installing my Martin 20,000 BTU Vented Heater. Yeah, I need to get this gas line put in and the heater running before the snow sets in. So in this film, I'm going to get that LPG or propane gas line in and the heater running. Let's go do it. We've come up here to put in the gas line, and when I read the manual, it says here that use new black iron or steel pipe only. Install thin copper tubing can be used in some areas when permitted by local code. Only use pipe of 1/2 or greater diameter to allow gas flow volume to heat. Well, I assumed something.
Big mistake.
Okay, I assumed this inverted connector right here, or this inverted nipple, was going to be a 1/2 inch. So I bought everything at a 1/2 inch. So my flex tubing is a 1/2 inch. Well, when I put it up here, I found out this morning that's not going to go. So I either will need to have an adapter or change this out to a 3/8. Now that makes that piping now a 3/8 pipe. What makes it another problem is that my shut-off valve I bought as a 1/2 inch to fit on here. Well, if I go to a 3/8, so as I switch out this flexible pipe to 3/8, my 1/2 inch gas ball valve needs to also fit onto a 3/8, in which this NPT needs to fit onto a 1/2 inch. So it needs to be a 1/2 inch to a 3/8 to get to a 3/8 up here. Or I'm going to have to change my line right here to 3/8. And so where do we handle that 1/2 inch pipe? You know, if they're going to say use 1/2 inch, keep the whole system 1/2 inch. Again, the instructions here are not the best, but certainly you have to work with it. But since I'm 2 hours away from the hardware store up here in the mountains, yeah, a problem today. So guess who's coming back tomorrow? Me! With the parts I have up here today, and to save some time, I'm going to go ahead and lay out all the parts I have to see if we'll fit and drill the required holes to bring the gas line into the building. Then tonight I'll drive down to a box store, get the correct parts to finish up this design, and then do the finished installation tomorrow and see if this heater will work. So the mess I have right here, I'm trying to put the gas line in. So I'm mocking it up right now, make sure I have all the parts. But I just need to figure out where to put this hole in it. So I've set up this to kind of get an eyeball where to go. This will be about right here. This 10-foot pipe is going to go all the way to the end of the building. I only need 5 feet of distance from the ignition. By our codes, I'm going to go 10 feet away, just to be extra safe. I drilled through the wall with a 7/8 diameter carbon steel wood drill bit to fit the 1/2 inch back pipe that has an OD, an outside diameter of 0.84. The black pipe went through perfectly. I then started mocking up the gas pipe system to verify the fit and if I had all the supplies I needed before heading down to that box store. I continued to put in place all the piping. Temporarily, I didn't tighten down anything, knowing I was going to do that whole system again tomorrow. Oh, there's about 12 inches of gravel right here. Once everything was in place, we took time to level out where the tanks were going to go and put some cement blocks down to give some stability. Terry was hard at doing this part of the job, as I was busy just supervising. As if she really needed me to do that. She didn't. There'll be a chain around here. The black pipe will go up to the regulator. I put the regulator a bit higher so I can put two 100-pound tanks here. Well, that's if I need to. Better safe than sorry. Getting back from that box store and getting all of my needed supplies to finish this job, it was time to install this gas line in permanently. I blew out any lingering crap out of the black pipe and started installing the pipe outside first. Yep, only if I was a plumber. I found that a good steel pipe wrench and an adjustable joint channel plier. You could also pop in one of those water pump pliers. Yeah, that would work really well. So I need to put on this pipe thread sealant, and I'm going to use the wire brush, clean off the threads. I have both sides. It needs to go through the wall right here. And once you clean off, just take a rag and wipe it down. Be careful, because sometimes there's a little wire sticking out here. I crammed one through my finger. Not the funnest thing in the world, so always be careful about that. The sealant is a pipe thread sealant for gas lines. Our building codes allow for any of the yellow tape of Teflon to be used for gas connections. However, several plumbers and inspectors prefer using what they call pipe dope, this pipe thread sealant, in this situation because it's thicker and seals better. So, whichever you decide to use is governed by your state. So follow your codes and use what you prefer. Spider! No one likes spiders. Especially me. Not so fearless, am I? After getting the outdoor piping system together, with each joint having gas sealant and tightened, it's time to put it onto the wall, at least 12 inches above the ground. Then I will need to permanently attach it to the building with some brackets. Now taking that piping indoors, trying to fit through that 7/8 hole can be a little bit of a problem. Try to get it straight. I didn't and broke some drywall on the far side. I put the regulator high enough to be able to install two 100-pound tanks. They are 4 feet tall and 18 inches in diameter and hold 23.6 gallon propane when full. So you might ask yourself, where did I get this great LPG propane bracket to put on side the cabin? I machined it out. I was a machinist for many years, and now I got that machined. It's going to work great. Proud of myself. And I'm proud of Terry over here for digging the hole here.
I moved a little bit of rock.
Yeah.
I can do that.
It's a team effort, isn't it? We can do the inside now.
Got it?
Day 2.5. Great time. Time for some mountain food.
Good have. Maybe next time.
It's all cool and ready to eat.
Where in the heck did I put that pipe wrench? From the pipe coming in from the external regulator, it's time to build that sediment trap. You'll need a T-joint, a pipe nipple, and a cap. You will need at least 3 inches of length for that sediment trap. Then from that T, go ahead and bring up a small extension up to an elbow so you can set up that manual shutoff valve. That manual shutoff valve is a must and should be close to that heater and prior to your flexible gas hose, if a flexible gas hose is allowed by your local codes. In our case, it is. I'm installing a ProFlex 1/2-inch FIP by 3/8 flare ball valve for quick turn off. As you notice, you need to leave enough room to be able to turn that valve on and off. Do not install this product until reconstructing instructions.
After carefully reading the instructions of this flex hose, it stated that we do not want to put any dope on the flare fitting. And if you notice, I used a 3/8 flare because that's the size of hose that I need to go into the heater's inlet. Big hands, small space. Always seems to be the problem. Now that metal's sharp and it will scratch you up pretty good, so be careful and don't cross thread it like I was trying to do.
It's a pretty long one of those. They don't have a shorter one?
That's all they had. I can buy one later, but right now that's all they had.
There we go, just finishing up. This is the last of the gas line, and then it's time to just try it out. Secure the piping and tie down that regulator. It's time to put the tanks on. Let's go do that.
This one I do put Teflon tape on. See this one here, when I bought the other ones, I said put Teflon tape on this, even though they're flare fittings. Doesn't tell me how much time it appears. I probably could already put it on there. And that says there's any leaks in the system.
I think that was my finger as a bubble. So what does it look like? They'll bubble up. Like little bubbles. That tells me that has a leak. See that?
There's a leak right there. So I didn't tighten that one up very much.
Don't undo it.
I'm going to tighten it. I didn't tighten that one very much because it's something you're supposed to untighten later on.
And for those that might be worried about my safety and this gas leaking, I'm installing an RV propane gas detector. And I'm filling up all the gaps I might have with a high temperature silicone. A key point while getting the gas to flow through the lines: if you smell gas, do not attempt to light any applications. Do not use electrical switches. Don't use your phone. Turn off all the gas lines. Fix the problems and call for emergency if need so. Again, I am not a professional gas person. I am a DIY guy. Now, if you do not feel comfortable putting in these gas lines, please, please, please get an expert to do so, and always get it inspected. But as you notice here, my gas system works, and my heater's working. How wonderful! I'm going to get some heat.
This heater is in. It's vented out. It's going to keep us nice and warm on these chilly mornings up here in the mountains. It's been a pleasure to show you how to put this in. Hope you got some information here. Thank you very much. This is George the Fearless Rambler, signing off.